think the passing away of the former Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, is a great loss. He was a tall stalwart, a visionary statesman, and I had the privilege of knowing him, if I remember correctly, nearly for 50 years. In 1974, when I joined the Foreign Service, soon thereafter, I was posted to Tokyo along with Lakshmi as language students, and then we joined our embassy. He was then economic advisor to the Ministry of Commerce, and he had come along with a delegation of Indian business persons. After that, he has had a distinguished career. He went on then to become Chief Economic Advisor to the Government of India and the Ministry of Finance. He became Secretary in the Ministry of Finance. He rose to be Governor of the Central Bank, the Reserve Bank, and then he served with great distinction as head of the South Commission in Geneva, and then Finance Minister, and then finally Prime Minister. During this period, when we were young officers in Geneva, he was heading the South Commission, and he was an international civil servant. Earlier, he had served in UNCTAD, the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, as head of the Money and Finance Division. On both occasions, when he was serving as an international civil servant, he gave up that job, those jobs which were reasonably comfortable, well-paid jobs, well-paid international assignments, to come and address more pressing issues at home. After that, when I became an ambassador, I had the privilege of hosting prime ministerial visits in Geneva, in Brazil, and again later in New York. He came through as a very cerebral, very thoughtful, and wise person. And if you have to look back on his life, he was a person who rose from relatively humble origins. He had an outstanding academic record. After matriculating from the Punjab University, he went on to study at the University of Cambridge, where he got a tripos, first-class honours. He went to the University of Oxford to get a DPhil. And, there's no academic distinction which he did not have. From there, he made a transition to being a civil servant and later on to a politician. He will be remembered for many things. I think he was the architect in many ways of the economic reforms along with Sri Narasimha Rao ji. But most important, I think the context becomes important because he was able to navigate the economy at a time when it was facing many challenges. The challenges being, initially there was a balance of payments crisis. We had to go to the International Monetary Fund for standby arrangements or an extended facility arrangement. And then later on, when he saw those difficulties, economic reforms were carried out, and those economic reforms formed the basis of the growth which came later. So I would give him, in my view of saying, as a very high marks in terms of economic reform and economic decision-making. The Honorable Prime Minister has also said that he made a lot of effort to positively impact the lives of ordinary people. Equally, I think if you look at the foreign policy front, I think his stewardship of the country during the 2004 and 14 period saw the India-US relationship move from one of hesitation to finally one which laid the basis for the strategic partnership. And I think the India-US civilian nuclear deal, which he was able to guide with great dexterity. I mean, commercial contracting didn't take place, but you can't blame the architect. But there was so much opposition to the nuclear deal that I think it is finally Dr. Manmohan Singh's personal resolve and determination which ensured that the deal went through, because there was opposition within the Congress party, there was opposition from the left parties who were alliance partners, but I think Dr. Singh was able to, he not only took a stand, but he was able to tell them that he would have no hesitation even to risk the future of his government if there is opposition to the deal. So I think now that he has passed away at the age of 92, he will be remembered with great degree of admiration and affection.